Okay, so it's finally spray painting time, and I'm only starting with some of these smaller parts like the heater box here that I'm going to put in a semi-gloss black. I'm going to be doing the air cleaner and the radiator support panel and a couple other bits and pieces. This is also a sample of the paint, the final coat that I'm going to use on the car. Now I took in a panel to the automotive paint store to try and match up the blue, and I still don't think that's quite right. The panel I took with me is this wiper cowl over here, and I just turned it over, and the only original paint that I could really see there was that part there. So I just got them to try and match up the darkest blue possible, which I thought was the closest colour. I actually did find what I believe is the real colour, the original colour, and that's probably a bit hard to see. There's a patch in here on the sill panel which looks fairly fresh, but obviously I couldn't take that into them. So based on what I gave them, I mean, he got pretty close, but I think the sample I've got here is just a little bit too dark, so I might go and ask for one or two shades lighter than this and just spray it on a test panel and see how it looks. But anyway, for now I'm using some satin black, acrylic lacquer, and I'm just going to start on a few bits and pieces. So here we go, finally get to see some colour happening. So there's the heater unit all done, all reassembled, all painted up, ready to go back in the car. That was a fairly rusty unit when I pulled that one out. And this is the sandwich plate that goes on the outside against the firewall. So there's just a few things painted up in semi-gloss black. Next thing tomorrow, I'll be doing that reinforcement panel and those inner wheel wells, and I'm also going to be spraying them with a special type of almost like a rubbery type paint, and it's basically acts as a stone guard, and that'll end up getting sprayed on the undersides of here. Okay, so I'm nowhere near ready to do anything on the engine, but I just couldn't help myself. I've just cleaned up the rocker covers since I'm going to be doing all the cowlings and that sort of thing on the front clip. This weekend I just thought I'd pretty up the rocker covers and make it all look a little bit nicer. So I've gone out and got myself in a just an aerosol can here. This is called Chevy Orange, which is pretty much the original colour. So that's all nice and pretty orange now. The stuff I've used is proper engine enamel. This goes up to, withstands about 500 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's the sort of stuff you want to use for painting engine parts. Okay, so now it's time to coat the underside of these wheel covers, and what I'm going to be using here is kind of like a putty gun, if you like, and I bought this for $20, which was a very old unit in an auto paint store shop, and some special stone chip protectant sort of coating. So here's what you get in the kit. This is the actual gun itself, which I think's a one-time deal. I think once this stuff here is run through this gun, it's pretty much a throwaway item, because I'm pretty sure it's going to get fairly well clogged up. But anyway, I only need it once, and that just plugs straight into the canister. Okay, so I've never actually used one of these setups before, so I do hear they can get fairly messy, so I've just got a tarp on the ground to catch any sort of flying excess paint. I've just had to dunk this tube in hot water to get it over the sleeve here. I'm not even sure if I have to use that, but I've got it on anyway. Obviously this tube is supplied so you can do things like get under the vehicle or under the wheel arch and that sort of thing. So just a matter of shaking that can up really well and put it together and see how it works. So there's the end result. That's the spray that's gone under the underside of the wheel covers here, the stone chip protectant. So that's just pretty much got to dry now, and then I can put a coat over that of top coat of semi-gloss to fill in all these little areas here. We can still see the primer from underneath, but that's gone on, and that's hopefully going to do its job. So that's it for now. Got those few bits and pieces in the front end all painted up, all in semi-gloss black, and it's just a matter of waiting for the hood to get done now. That'll be next week, and most of the front clip is pretty much done.